My name is Brian Thomas. Welcome to Alive in 5. Today I wanted to focus in on word clouds and how to be able to use 3 different word cloud websites and use a primary source document. One of the great things about word clouds that you have with students these days is you have a different way of being able to show words. Typically we think of words in multiple intelligences as being just verbal linguistic. Well, word clouds gives you the ability of being able to do words but use the visual spatial intelligence. So you're getting to another group of students inside your class by using word clouds. So let's take a quick look at one example of a word cloud that you can use from a primary source document on 3 different websites.
Once you've decided that you're going to create a word cloud, first decide what is the word cloud going to be from. I'm going to use the example of the Declaration of Independence. Now, I went on to Google, found the National Archives from Google, and found the Declaration of Independence. From here, I'm going to copy and paste the text into my word cloud website. I'm going to give you 3 different word cloud websites that you can look at today. The first one is probably the most popular one, and that is Wordle. So when I click on this tab up here, you'll see that I've already gone through and I've pre-pasted my text in. Now when you get to Wordle's website, on their homepage, they have a button called Create, and it will take you to this page right here where you then paste in your text. When you click the word Go, it's going to generate a word cloud. And that word cloud uses an algorithm so that the more frequent a word is used, the larger that it will be. And so when we look at the Declaration of Independence, we can see right off the bat that states, people, laws, government, powers, those are all more frequently used words. This is a really interesting way for students to be introduced to something like the Declaration of Independence. Instead of having it read aloud to them, imagine the student is sitting there and or standing there by your interactive whiteboard, and they see this word cloud come up, and you start to probe them with questions. What are the large words? What do they mean? What are some smaller words that are meaningful to you? Those are the types of questions that you really want to challenge your students with. Now, Wordle's website gives you the capability of changing the color. You can change the layout. You can even change the font so that it's more eye-friendly to the students inside your room. So Wordle is probably the most popular website out there for creating word clouds. There are others, though, and one that I really like to use a lot is Tagxedo. Tagxedo, as you see right off the bat here, is very different in that it gives you the ability of creating word clouds to particular shapes. So we took the outline of the United States and we had the word cloud fit right inside of it. And all of that happens by clicking the Shape button down here. Now they have some pre-made templates that you can select from, but you can also upload images and create your word cloud around custom images. The other thing I love about Tagxedo's website is that, let's say that you are using this with an interactive whiteboard inside your class, and you bring the students up and you're having them point out words that are meaningful. I want them to find a word that they find personally meaningful, and it doesn't have to be large, it can be really even tiny. Then what they can do is that when the student comes up to your interactive whiteboard, when they put their hand or use the stylus and place it over top of that word, it highlights, and it really pops out for the rest of the students to be able to see. So Tagxedo is an awesome website to use with your students in a very dynamic way, especially if they're touching the words. There's another website that I like, and that's WordSift. Now, WordSift isn't so much a word cloud as a way for students to be able to understand what the words mean. And so if I take the Declaration of Independence and I paste it into WordSift's website, it's not going to generate one of those beautiful word clouds. It will create the size of the words based on their frequency of use, but what WordSift does that I really like, especially for emerging readers, is that if I highlight or I click on a word such as mankind, then what's going to pop up down here is I have a visual thesaurus where they see that word and other words that are very similar or mean something very similar to it. And even if I over here were to type in some of those words, I would get from Google a series of images that they could begin to look at. Now, A caution, not all of the images would be directly associated with the meaning from the declaration or whatever document that you're using, so you have to use it judiciously. But I love this visual thesaurus, especially with the emerging readers that we have inside of our class. So there you go. There's 3 websites that do word clouds, 3 different ways of being able to use it with your students inside your class. Primary source documents are a great way, a great source to use for those word clouds, but there's all kinds of things that you can do with word clouds. Hope that you enjoy it. We'll see you next time in Alive in 5.